What? What did you do? What did you do, Sammy?
I'm involved in 19
What did you do?
3 fucking Mafia wars.
That's your badge of honor. Your badge of honor. You killed 19. You put a gun in the fucking back of 19 guys. That's your badge of honor.
I didn't shoot 19 guys. I'm involved in 19 murders.
Good for you, Sammy. What a hero you are.
I'm involved in 3 Mafia wars. What did I do? I raised the construction business with unions. What'd you do with the fucking phony bullshit with the gas and taking down performers? What's your father's name?
Phony?
Yeah, phony.
Yeah, Sammy.
You fucking you didn't try to shake down Michael Jackson. It didn't work.
Oh, Sammy, you know what? Stop your you're talking like a clown right now.
When you make fucking statements about people, about their cooperation, and why they shouldn't get out of prison, and you make statements that the proof is in the pudding. When they get out, they lie to the government, they turn around, and they recommit crimes. And he mentions a couple of people, including my name, in that group. My name didn't have to be in that group. He could have, if that was his feelings, he could have just said that. He didn't have to put my fucking name in the thing. That's number one. Number two, when he cooperated and did certain things, it was all right for him to cooperate against Nobby Walters, whether he went to prison or not. He got convicted under Michael's testimony. He got a $395,000 fine. He got sentenced to prison, and the case was overturned because the judge made a mistake on the case, something that affected the law end of it, not Michael or his testimony or nothing, and the case was reversed. He comes out of fucking prison. There's interviews. People wanted to talk to me. They don't even want to talk about Michael Franchise or his father. He hates them. So, and this guy here was a family friend of theirs. A family friend, they shook him down for money and then ratted on him. And that's supposed to be okay. So you could do that, but somebody else who has a problem in them, if they were betrayed or whatever the story is, you're going to be the high priestess who tells them you're no good. You shouldn't get out. When he was able to get out, he had a 10-year sentence, that was reduced to 3 years and 4 months for his fucking testimony. You were there when we talked about his $15 million fine. He never paid it. He says, well, I paid dribs and drabs, but I never paid it all. You can't walk away from the fucking government and say, I'm not paying it. That don't work. That was probably done because he cooperated. Whatever his fine was, they probably niched it, whatever they did. I can't prove that, I can't say that, but those things don't just disappear. They're there. So without cooperation, you ain't getting these things from the government. There's millions of people who went to prison. You can't get squat from the government when you're convicted. Nothing. Whether it's a fine, whether it's the time, reductions, you got to do something to get reductions. And there's tapes, there's agents saying, yeah, the argument, the New York prosecutors were arguing with the Chicago prosecutors. They wanted him to cooperate against Carmine Persico. He wouldn't do it, or whatever that is, I don't doubt. Maybe he didn't want to do it. And he didn't. But the Chicago people won out, and they used him there, and he got his favors. He cooperated. Now, he didn't have murders. He never murdered anybody in his life, from what I understand. But he'll say, I don't have cover for that.
It wasn't a speech.
Well, whatever it is.
It wasn't a speech.
You
was
went in
explaining
and you
what
talked
happened.
with the agents about your crimes when the guy
100%.
cooperated against you, and you cooperated against some Jewish guy.
What Jewish guy?
You told me yourself
Nobby
that
Walters.
amount. I don't know who the fuck he is.
Sammy, I got subpoenaed to testify in that case, and I went in and I testified. The guy didn't do 1 day's time. Not 1 day. He didn't do an hour in jail.
We're not talking about maybe this Nobby Walters, whoever it was.
Well,
and I'll
that's
get
all
the
it was.
facts if we have to go to that route.
You get the facts.
I will.
It's
I
public
will.
record.
I got a lot of agents I know too.
It's public record.
We could get it. Fuck the public record. I could get the unpublic record. But what happens is when you talk and you cooperate with the government, now they don't use you. You're not going to take the stand. You talked about your crimes. You talked about other things, and you have to plea or whatever they do. They gave you his plea. It's a proffer.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I did not, there was no cooperation attached to my plea agreement in 1985. You can investigate high, low, and everywhere in between. You can look up documents, you can go to the Freedom of Information Act, do whatever you want.
You can't
I
get
did
those
not
documents with Freedom of
Okay.
Information.
Well, you got FBI
Everybody knows
connections.
that.
You got FBI connections. There was
Yeah,
no.
I'll get it.
There was no. No. Let me finish. You can't say that and then not let me finish. There was no cooperation.
10 minutes.
No, but there was. You just made an allegation. That's not true. There was
It is
no
an allegation. I'll make it true.
There was no cooperation attached to my plea agreement
Maybe it's
at
not
all.
cooperation. I don't know what you wrote. You met with the agents and you talked with the agents.
I met
You
with
just
the
said
agent
it.
5 years later.
No,
I
you
was-
just said you were on a plane with agents and you were joking. You talked about other things and you got the plea or whatever they do. They gave his plea. It's a proffer.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I did not, there was no cooperation attached to my plea agreement in 1985. You can investigate high, low, and everywhere in between. You can look up documents, you can go to the Freedom of Information Act, do whatever you want.
You can't
I
get
did
those
not
documents with Freedom of
Okay.
Information.
Well, you got FBI
Everybody knows
connections.
that.
You got FBI connections. There was
Yeah,
no.
I'll get it.
There was no. No. Let me finish. You can't say that and then not let me finish. There was no cooperation.
10 minutes.
No, but there was. You just made an allegation. That's not true. There was
It is
no
an allegation. I'll make it true.
There was no cooperation attached to my plea agreement
Maybe it's
at
not
all.
cooperation. I don't know what you wrote. You met with the agents and you talked with the agents.
I met
You
with
just
the
said
agent
it.
5 years later.
No,
I
you
was-
just said you were on a plane with agents and you were joking. I beat you once. They don't go for that bullshit.
What are you talking about?
You just said you were talking with agents. I beat you, so now I'm going to give you
Sammy,
one.
I was talking about my case. I took a plea.
Yeah.
I was talking about my case. They were saying, Michael, when we were following you here, was this what really happened?
Right. But
I
what I
already took the
understand
plea.
is that when you talked with the agents, you talked about your crimes, you talked about other things. Now, what happens is they didn't use you. They didn't use
They
you.
couldn't use me.
Sammy, I've been listening to you, and I don't want to say it, but I think you want to say it, but you haven't said it yet. Is there anything you want to say to Michael in regards to cooperating?
What can I say? He ratted. He cooperated. He cooperated with the fucking government. He wanted to get on his fucking high horse. I didn't send somebody to prison. He met with the fucking government and ratted. You're a fucking rat.
You want to talk about respect? You want to talk like that?
Point your fucking finger at me.
Oh, what are you going to do?
What am I gonna do? I'll break your fucking face. That's what the fuck I'll do.
Let me tell you
Right?
something. You're not the
This was
only
years ago.
person
You'd be
you
fucking
got.
dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
My fucking category